Hi everybody, it's Julie here, and today I thought we were going to talk a bit about the big 12 by 12 paper pads. In front of me I have a paper pad by Pink Paisley, designed by Paige Evans, and it's called Take Me Away. So, I know in the scrapbooking world there's a bit of a divide when it comes to these paper pads. Some love them because you get a bunch of papers for less price. And some don't like them because they're flimsy or just single-sided, and it's sort of like either you love them or you don't. And also I have found that the colors are not a true match to the single-sided. They're not quite as saturated, I have found, but hey, it's a minimal difference. But the reason why I like them is that living here in Sweden, we don't get quite as much stuff here. It takes a longer time to get it here, and also it's much more expensive. But this one was on sale. This collection came out last year, and I hardly ever regretting stuff that I buy or don't buy when it comes to scrapbooking, but I really regretted that I didn't get more of this collection. I got a few sheets of paper and the ephemera pack, and that was that. And the papers are gone, and so is the ephemera pack. So when I saw this on sale, I was like, I need to have it. But then I was like, the ephemera pack is no longer available in Sweden, and I was like, okay. But you know what? With this kind of paper pad, you can make your own ephemera with the stuff in here. That is what's so amazing. So I suppose I will just show you what I pick up, and then share some tips. Okay, should we get started? First, what I do is I look through the paper pad. I want to see what's in it. And this is a really nice paper pad, or collection I should say. You have a lot of solid patterns, a lot of color, you have a lot of things that can cut apart, you have small patterns, big patterns, and you get two of each. So what I start with is just looking through, and then I go through and tear out the sheets. And then we're going to start cutting. So my first tip for you when you want to do this, and if you have never done it, is to go through and look at it. Can you see something that you usually buy, or the stuff you do buy, is there anything that you can cut from it that looks like it? So usually in the ephemera packs that I get, you usually get frames or 3x4 cards. Look at the shapes. And here we have a lot. We have a cut apart sheet, and we have these frames, and all of those shapes are really easy to cut out. So I'm just going to do that with my trimmer, just cut really basic, and then I'm going to go in and like with the scissors and fussy cut the frames, because that's how it is. And here we have some with sort of journaling spots, and they have all different sizes, but you can find some straight lines to start cutting them out. And tip number 2 is to finish them. And what I mean by that is, you can see here on some of these spots or shapes had indication for holes. Then I go in and I cut the holes. And what I mean by that is to finish them, that if I just cut them sort of roughly, then it's not very likely I'm going to go back and use them. But if I actually finish them, like here, I mean, I could just cut a rough shape around this, but if I actually go in and cut it around properly, it's more likely I'm going to use it when I'm actually creating something, because it's done. I don't need to fuss about it then. So if I take the time and do this, I do it once and I do it properly. And yeah, I mean, some people don't like it. That's fine. Buy the ephemera pack. But here you can see I switched and I used a 2-inch circle punch, so I didn't get a hoop, but I still get the sentiment within. Same thing here, we have this paper full of words, and they are a bit overlapping each other, so what I try to do is first look, what word can I cut out just straight? And then I do that, and then I cut out or look again and see what words do I want to have, and can I like cut around it, making it into a shape. So I do that, and maybe you don't like using this kind of words, then this is not for you. If you like using sort of ready-made titles or like this, it's perfect. And I think that is also because, I mean, you can cut up a whole paper pad making different sort of embellishments, but if you're not going to use it, it's not worth it. So that is also to know thyself, you know. Yeah, like what kind of embellishments do you use and how do you use them? And that is a key to save both time and money. So here we have a paper. It has beautiful florals, and I really want to cut them out. But you can see they are very intricate flowers, and they took a long time, not going to lie. I'm a pretty savvy fussy cutter, if I do say so myself. But this was a bit challenging because of all those really fine leaves. And my tip here is to first only cut out if you really want to. Second is you can cut away stuff when you're cutting it out. If you notice that there are things like, oh gosh, I'm not going to do that, it's too hard, then don't cut it out. That's the beauty with it. You can cut away when you're cutting it away. But yeah, here you can see I'm really trying to get everything in there. But if it's too tricky of a situation, I'm not going to bother with it because, yeah. But if you still want to do that, and because I didn't want to have a, sometimes if you have a white border, you can just make a white edge around, but I didn't want to get a black edge around this, so I needed to be pretty careful. So what I did is just take an X-Acto knife and go back in. So that was about one movie. After that, I started on the windows. They're really pretty. And once again, straight edges, super easy. So that is my tip for you, is to one, finish what you start cutting out. So you'd only cut out the things you're actually going to use, and then cut away the stuff that is hard to cut out, because you can do that. Or use an X-Acto knife. But yeah, keep it simple because this should be fun. If it's not fun, just buy the ephemera pack or the embellishments. Yeah, okay. So we are done. All of these papers made into die cuts. These I have trimmed quite quite a lot, and I used an X-Acto knife. But every other element, all of these were really easy to cut out. I mean, even these little embroidery hoops, I mean, I just used this 2-inch punch. It was so easy just to cut them out. Cut apart sheet, another one, just straight lines, cutting. We have these little frays with quotes in them, really easy to cut out. These a bit more elaborate if you want them to, otherwise just keep the white around. Windows, straight edges. So I mean, it's really easy. And what I think about all of these papers, they're not many. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 papers here. And I don't think I would have used any of them as a background paper, a bit too busy. But just one of these I can use as embellishment. So I haven't wasted any paper really, and if I decide that, oh gosh, I really want to make a layout or something with that paper, then I have an extra in here because I got 2 of each. You can see how many papers I still have. And I mean, I can make tons more embellishments with these papers, but what I wanted to show you is these are really, really simple things to cut out, but they make really cute embellishments or titles. So yeah, so that is my tip. Just look through and see what you want to do. Now, is it worth it? I think that is what it comes down to. My brother is sneezing. The way I see it is that if you only have money or to want to buy the paper pack, you can get a lot of stuff out of it. Now you do need to consider that taking the time to cut it all out, that is what's costing you. I mean, these are really, really pretty, but it took a lot of time to cut them all out. And Viola is coming. And that is what you need to consider. You need to pay either with your money or with your time. For me, this is pretty relaxing. I was looking at a movie, cut them out, I had a good time. So yeah, that is my tip. If you only want to buy a collection with a paper pad, then you can still get a lot of embellishment out of it. And you can do this with a 6x6 pad. It's a bit more fussy because the images are smaller, but you still have a lot of stuff you can use, usually. And then I just want to share another thing. You can maybe do it like this. So if I put it like that, have a white background here, is that you can go to, this is pink paisley, so it's distributed by American Craft. You can go to acdigitals.com and you can buy the digital files. So I bought some of that, the ephemera or embellishment packs. I got 2 of those, and I just put them into Photoshop and then printed them. So I made a few A4 papers, just put them in different sizes, mirrored some of them, printed on just regular white cardstock on the smooth side, printed them on vellum, and I think that these 2 ephemera packs, I have some more images here, cost me less than $6. And I have so many die cuts here that I can use. I can get what size I want, I can change the colors, I can change the size, I can print it on cardstock, on vellum. I can really decide what I want to do with them. And I think that is also a really nice thing. Even if you don't scrapbook digitally, you can still get the digital files and get physical product. So yeah. Anyway, those are my tips on stretching a paper pad or a collection. You can get a lot of die cuts with just the paper pad, and then I mean these digital files, I mean there's no end to how much you can actually do with them. So yeah, that is what I do when I get a paper pad. Is I look through, see what I'm not going to use to make layouts per size, but what I can cut apart and use to build one. So anyway, that is my tip for you. I hope you have liked this video. If you do, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, just hit the subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.